Okay, Catherine, you want to call the roll, please?
Sure. Mr. Anderson?
Here.
Mr. Kashani?
Here.
Mr. Giardina?
Here.
Mr. Kosel?
Here.
Mr. Malta?
Here.
Mrs. Maltman?
Here.
Mr. Gasket?
Here.
Ms. Corsi?
Here.
Mr. Artuso?
Here.
Mr. Chardy?
And he's here also.
He has to say.
Okay, again, I'd like to welcome everyone to the meeting. This is a very simple meeting here tonight. This was a requested meeting to have a separate meeting in regard to the McAlpin Industries project, to move forward with final approval on it, and I'd like to welcome you all here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Mike Ritchie from Costage Engineering. With me, we have Darla and Mark from McAlpin Industries. We are here tonight for final site plan and special use permit approval for Phase 1 of the McAlpin Industries warehouse. We were here 2 weeks ago. This board granted seeker and preliminary approval, and there were some comments that the board had from that meeting. Some site plan comments and comments related to architecturals. We since revised those plans to address the planning board's comments and submitted revised plans. After that, I did have a conversation with the town engineer. He had one minor comment about the access, the entrance. We worked through that, revised the plans again, had a conference call with him and Josh and the highway superintendent yesterday, and they expressed that they were satisfied with the change that was made. So with that, we'd be happy to answer any questions that this board has, and again, requesting final site plan and special use permit approval. Thank you.
Tony, I didn't read this into the record. Does it matter?
It should, we've got it, right? Are you okay with it? Okay.
Okay.
All right. Actually, this was at the PRC again Thursday. It was discussed and talked about widening that section of the road. The first thought was that, what do you call it, hot box or something was in the way. Well, that's on the other side of the pond, actually.
Yep.
So that road is a clear cut going in, so there is room to widen it, correct?
Yep, and we did. We widened it
Yep,
to
I
about
see that.
40 feet wide there at the entrance, just so that even the largest truck won't cross over the yellow line.
Okay, I just had a couple of notes on there. I mean, it's a big piece of paper you got, Mike, but I've got pretty good eyes, but I'm looking and I'm having a hard time to see. I mean, you're showing Phase 3 and Phase 2 on the other page and stuff. But the exterior finish legend, I can't see that. And I didn't bring my magnifying glass.
Understood. Yeah, I know we did submit some large sheets, and it's unwieldy to work with sometimes. It's a little bit easier to see the detail on
Okay,
those.
so you'll have that all, it'll be, what you've got will be blown up
Yep, and it
in a
is,
full sheet.
yes,
On
there,
the all
3
right.
copies of those were
All right,
submitted.
so let me just ask you the question, on just the Phase 1, forget phase.
Do you have that one, Tony? Just want to make sure you got that one.
Yeah, no, I got
Okay,
it,
okay.
I've seen that, no,
Okay.
I saw that. But well, my concern is,
Yeah,
it's Phase 2 and Phase 3, but I wanna see a nice picture of Phase 1, what are we using for
exactly. Yep.
for the material on Phase 1? So I don't know what you're showing on there, like at the entrance.
Yep, for Phase 1. Yeah, again, it's metal, exterior metal. It's, and around the main entrance in Phase 1, again, the intent that isn't gonna be the ultimate main entrance, that's just for right now, but it is
Yeah.
gonna be a stacked stone entryway with some highlighting in blue. The main colors are, I believe they're gray and what was the change? A white and a gray. Yeah, and then blue accenting the entrance there. And then the main entrance, which would be in the second
Yeah,
phase.
that's, yeah, when you ultimately get to that's attractive there.
Yep.
But, yeah,
Yeah, and it's tough to see, but the rendering does show it, a little bit better context over to the left. That it's, a stacked stone, little vestibule entrance with blue siding at the entrance there.
yeah. All right, that's all, I mean, you've accomplished everything that was asked for.
Can I ask about the monument sign with the drawing you have here?
Yes,
Is it 1964? Because you can hardly see it. It doesn't shine out like the Alpen name does.
Yeah, we can work with the sign company to make it more bright white so it pops out, instead of maybe the
be
metal
helpful.
finish, yeah.
It would be helpful.
Before you get into the sign, let's keep that as a whole separate issue. U of R has a sign out there, you're gonna want a sign out there too.
Yep,
My suggestion is that you guys work together with them and put the two signs, I was talking to Josh today about it, on one pedestal
Yep.
setup, because that sign, ultimately, their sign is gonna have to get moved over anyways.
that's correct.
So they can keep the same sign, you can put your sign, put one neat pedestal.
Yep.
And the two signs side by side. You don't want two separate signs,
I
that would be
agree.
tacky.
And Mark
Agreed?
actually had just mentioned that he's had conversation with
Okay.
U of R, and they're willing to work with McAlpin.
Great, that's good.
Yeah, so,
So as far as the sign, let's hold off on the sign.
done.
I don't think
We
that's
can come back.
all important tonight. Until you guys know where it's gonna be, what it's gonna look like.
We're
And then
fine
we'll
with
deal with the
that.
sign as a whole separate thing. The
Absolutely.
other thing with the sign too, or the address, your address is,
So, based on conversations we had with this board and town staff, there was intent to not give this property a hard road address. So we worked with Monroe County 911 and submitted a bunch of names, and they approved, we're okay naming the private drive Metalworks Way. Do understand that creates a little bit of potential confusion with the U of R facility, since they have a hard road address. And we're willing to work with the town, work with Monroe County Emergency Services in whatever the most logical way to name that, whether U of R is willing to change their address from Hard Road to Metalworks Way, and McAlpin works with them on
no
that.
trouble with that, Mike, I think for them, they got thousands of clients.
Sure, they don't want that
I
confusion.
don't think they're gonna wanna change it.
Right,
I think it would be, if you guys are agreeable to that, is to change yours to a hard road address.
we can certainly do that, yeah,
Make it one road, because that's gonna be confusing as all heck.
Yep, we don't want that.
Okay.
And, yeah, we understand that, we don't want
So-
emergency
so-
services being
So in the
confused.
process of doing that, why don't you guys work on your sign to coincide with the hard road address,
Yes, sir,
okay? I think that would be good, that'd be a big accomplishment. It'd be a lot easier and quicker,
yep, we agree.
okay? All right, good, that was the other issue, actually. Anybody, any concerns about anything that, this has all been beat up by engineering, so I don't wanna get into engineering.
Oh, come on.
No,
No, nothing too bad.
no, this is fine.
My question is, phase two, do you guys have a rough schedule? Like, when are you anticipating doing phase two?
Yep. As we've been planning, I think we've been getting more and more excited for it. We like the look of the building, excited to expand. Right now, it's still the guideline is probably 5 to 8 years. It would be that phase. That would be additional growth. We're not there right now, even though we really like the looks of it, so we're getting excited, but just not quite yet.
Okay. And
Anybody, any concerns? Mark?
No, just,
The sign, it's a good point you brought it up, you reminded me, because we discussed incorporating the two together, so. Derek, you all
I
set?
think so, son.
Peggy, you all right?
I'm all set.
David?
Okay.
Oh, this is going quick.
I just have one more, sorry.
Go ahead.
This is more just for the road, where you go from 24-foot wide to 26-foot wide. If you maybe could tamper that out so that a plow doesn't nick it
Yeah, we can
as
do
it's
that
on the
over,
road.
a
That's all.
couple lengths of.
Just flare it out a
Yep,
little.
flare it out
so
to make it a smooth transition. Yep, that's a good idea.
That's it.
Okay, that's it. Good. All right, we've done seeker, this project has received a preliminary approval. Tonight they are here for a final approval, and also what this board's charged with is to issue a special use permit for this project too, because it's in the OP district. So we gotta do a final approval. You wanna do a final on this, Steve? You wanna do it?
I don't have a sheet.
Yeah, here, I'll give you. Here, just for final. Here, use that. Oh, sorry.
Can I make a motion for final approval for McAlpin Industries located at 875 Publishers Parkway. Subject to project review committee comments, subject to Parks and Rec fees if applicable, subject to preliminary approval conditions, subject to all applicable government fees, subject to the Department of Public Works approvals. Significant construction shall occur within 1 year is deemed by the planning board to expire on May 20th, 2026. The conditions of preliminary and final approval are depicted on the cover page of the final design plans. The engineer for the proposed project shall provide a letter of certification that all proposed work was completed as per planning board resolution of final approval before a certificate of occupancy will be issued. A letter of credit to the town for the project shall include the fee for the engineer's final inspection. All stormwater facilities to be constructed first, subject to resolution of final approved minutes. Approvals are subject to drawing number, what's on there? Project number 9649. And that's a motion.
That's your motion, need a second?
Second.
Mr. Malta?
Aye.
Mr. Giardina?
Aye.
Mr. Anderson?
Aye.
Mr. Kosel?
Aye.
Mr. Gassick?
Aye.
Mrs. Maltman?
Aye.
Mr. Kashani?
All right, along with those minutes, final approval, I think we should include this too. This was a note from Keith Mortimer, the town engineer. He would like to have this included also, and we'll put this in, Dave, if it's okay with you.
Yep.
Requesting the following approval conditions, and this is striping of the pavement area to be used by WB-67 to emphasize access point lane usage by all other vehicles. And number 2, location of a stop bar to maximize sight distance. And number 3, relocation of, modification of the monument signs to mitigate impacts to sight distance. And also a revised SWIPS report prior to the Mylar signatures, okay? Those are the 4 items. And we'll include that in, is that okay with everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, is 875, it says Publishers Parkway, is that the correct address, or at the,
That's the address of, I believe, U of R.
no, that'd be Hard Road?
It's hard, what did I say?
It says Publishers Parkway here, and that's what
Oh, no,
Dave
that's
said.
not, no.
So it should be Hard Road.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's,
Catherine?
it's
Yeah.
currently a Publishers Parkway
I know
address.
that That's what, it's
Right.
currently that way, that's why they put it in there.
Yeah, it's gonna be changed, but this is
So
the way it
that's
is.
why the idea
Yeah.
is to keep it as all one
Yeah.
road. Okay, did we vote on that? No, we did, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all set, we're good with that. All right, anything else? No, that's it for that. Now, again, according to the town code, that is an OP, which is an office park district. Allowable uses, this was sent to the town board for a request from you folks to put a manufacturing facility on there, which was okay. Town board then referred it to the planning board for review. This board has reviewed it several times now, we've had it in, and we've gone through it with a fine tooth comb, I would believe, right? And we're all in agreement with the outcomes, we've made a final approval on it. So along with that then, our charge is to issue a special use permit for this facility and manufacturing in there. So I guess we can cut it short, but Article 269-32, which are standards of all special use permits. And there's a list, I'll go through them quickly. Uses permitted will be general harmony and promote general purpose and intent of the area. Impact on the district is minimal, it's similar to other businesses. Adjacent properties, C. It's the location, height of the buildings, conforms to what is generally in the area. I'm using these as our findings for this thing. Impacts on neighboring properties, there is no special use, doesn't cause any severe impacts on nearby properties, et cetera. E, impacts on surrounding properties. Nature, duration, intensity does not cause an issue with the surrounding properties. Traffic has been mitigated, that's been design with adequate parking on site for your vehicles and so on. Services, the use shall be appropriately located. There is transportation, you had to have water supply, fire protection, and so on. That's all available. Seeker, that has passed the seeker. We've done a seeker on this project. Additional standards, special uses shall also be subject to any and all applicable local, state, and federal laws, codes, which we're aware of, and we've done that. Additional standards or requirements that the planning board may reasonably request, and I think that we've done in our final approval. So I guess with that, I'll call that a motion. Need a second.
Second.
Yeah,
Should we
motion
put
and
in there about obtaining a hard?
sorry?
Should we put in one of these motions wording about obtaining the hard road address?
That's
Oh, that
the,
we requested?
that's a condition, isn't it?
Well, we discussed it, but,
We're fine if that's a condition.
Yeah, add it as a condition,
okay, you wanna do that?
because I don't think we
That's what I did
mentioned it.
already.
That way it's in there. Okay, so okay, all right, you got it, right?
Yep.
Okay, all right, we're good then. We got it.
Mr. Kashani?
Aye.
Mr. Malta?
Aye.
Mr. Giardina?
Aye.
Mr. Anderson?
Aye.
Mr. Kosel?
Aye.
Mr. Gassett?
Aye.
Mrs. Maltman?
Aye.
And with that, I guess we're all set.
Thank you for the special meeting.
Been a little
Appreciate it.
draw, but you got there.
Thank you.